Welcome to GameTout, the show where I talk about video game topics that you want to know. And today we are going to be talking the Nintendo Switch 2 and the upcoming gaming predictions for 2005. The reason why I want to talk about this topic this week is because there has to be a Nintendo Direct in the near future. I know, coming up this week is the release of Donkey Kong Bonanza and also Mario Party Jamboree, I think it's called. I think that's coming out the 24th, so the following week. So I don't think, prediction-wise at least, and I know I'm recording this before the week, so maybe they already announced the Nintendo Direct. I don't know. But I don't think there's a Nintendo Direct coming out this week, the week of, the week that Donkey Kong comes out. However, I could see a Nintendo Direct come out the week of the 21st through the 25th. But I'm still not sure about that either. I like if anything, because usually they don't want to release a Direct too close to a game that's coming out. Like usually they'll do it like immediately after a big game, because basically they're like, hey, we're trying to pump you up so that you guys can buy a game coming out. So why distract you with other titles when we want you to buy a certain game, right? So that's the reason why usually they'll wait. So we might see the Nintendo Direct get more or less in July and August. Because the only thing in August from Nintendo, I think, that I remember is the, what is it called? Dragon Drive. I want to say it's the basketball one where they're kind of like in the wheelchairs, the robots. That's the only game that I think that's coming out in August, but yeah, I don't think that is necessarily a game that is I don't think it's necessarily a game that is how do I call it? Like, it's not something that would like delay a Direct, for example. So that's why I don't think I don't think that's gonna happen. But anyways, so what I wanted to do while I'm playing this amazing game, Donkey Kong Land 2, for the Game Boy, but I wanted to talk about what games do I think are going to be released for the Switch 2, and like if they do Direct, like what games are going to be coming out. Obviously, if they do a Direct, I finally think that we're gonna get the release date of Metroid Prime 4. Like that's the big game that is like in my head. That's the big game that's going to be for 2025, in my opinion. I think that's like the one that like I've been waiting for such a long time, and so it's like, are they going to have that be the game of 2025? I'm not sure. I think it is, personally. It's a game that has been in the making for such a long time, so it's like might as well. I just butchered that. Might as well have that be the game. I don't know what I'm doing. I totally died. Man, I thought I was going to be playing something and try not to distract myself, but this is definitely distracting. I don't know why I chose to play a game while I'm trying to talk, because I'm distracted. My ADD is going too much. Anyways, so Metroid Prime 4 is definitely the game that I think is going to be like the big game for this year. So if they do a Direct that's coming like right after the release of Donkey Kong Bonanza and Mario Party, that's definitely one of the things that they will mention is the release date on there, because we've been waiting for a long time of what it, you know, when it's going to be released, and it's like, why wouldn't they just tell us it's going to be in November? Because like it makes it seem like it's going to be like September. Like for some reason, like it's like September, but then what do you have for the Christmas lineup? Like they don't have like a big game for the Christmas, so it's like it's so interesting the way that Nintendo plots things. But what I would do if I was Nintendo, and I don't know if this is much of a prediction or just maybe a want, but I still really want the trilogy. I know that they released Metroid Prime 2, or sorry, Metroid Prime 1 for the HD version, right? And because they have the HD version, I'm like, why didn't they release part 2 and part 3, you know? Especially, I've been wanting to play part 3 for a long while. My Switch my Wii U that I bought the trilogy on kind of crapped out. So now I'm like, come on, Nintendo, I want this game to come out. I don't know why. So I'm hoping that, I know it may not be like the trilogy, but if they release, you know, like let's just say like, hey, we're gonna release Metroid Prime 2 Echoes and Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, and do that like in September, so then in November we can play the part 4. I think that'd be kind of cool. It's just so that people can get like prepped for that game. So I don't know. That's just, I know it's a want, but either way, Metroid Prime 4 either way is going to get a release date soon. It has to be. Like there's no way, right? There's no way. A lot of people are also talking about like why haven't we had anything Mario related? Because it's its 40th anniversary, right? And Nintendo usually sometimes does a big something for the big anniversaries, and 40 is actually a pretty big one, right? I know 50 is going to be like the one, right? But 40, it's pretty big, right? So I don't think we're going to get anything big with Mario, unfortunately. I would love it, but unfortunately I don't think that that's going to happen. What my hopes are is that maybe we get in November or October a Switch 2 version of some of the Mario games that have already come out, because we know that the Odyssey team is working or has worked on Donkey Kong Country Bonanza, or Donkey Kong Bonanza, right? And I know it's been wrapped up, so like obviously like they could be working on something else, or like, you know, usually at some point of the life cycle you have some people that are like, okay, these guys are not needed anymore, so like sometimes they can break away and work on other projects and stuff like that. So while working on a all new project isn't realistic, maybe working on some other project that has already been released maybe be good. So say for example, if they did a Super Mario Odyssey Switch 2 version, you know, make sure the frame rates are good, like, you know, pop up the graphics and stuff like that, hold this over for a little bit while, you know, they develop a Super Mario a 3D version that will come out in like 4 years, right? Cool. It would be really cool to also have it be a little bit of an expansion, kind of like how they're doing with Kirby, the Forgotten Land. And so if they do Odyssey, I can see them do, you know, like maybe 2 to 3 new worlds, because there's or kingdoms, because in that game you did various kingdoms, and so adding a few more, which in my opinion, I think there should have been a retro kingdom where basically it has like, you know, like retro themes in that kingdom. I think that would be super cool to basically, like, for people that have never played Odyssey, they can play it all the way through and also have 3 extra things. Or for us that we have played the game, just have the game, but then also the 3 new kingdoms. So then we have content in order to play. I think that'd be kind of cool. But then also Super Mario Wonder, because I want and I wonder if I could fall. I think I sang that like so many times while I was playing Super Mario Wonder. But anyways, same thing with Super Mario Wonder. There was a lot of cool, you know, like new features and stuff like that, but like having like a new world or two, like with a Switch version, I think would have been super cool. So I think that would, to me, that would be something that they can do in the meantime to hold us over, and it's something extra that they can do for the 40th anniversary. Like, super simple. Maybe even bring back, what was that game? Like, was it 30 or was it 40? I want to say it was 40. Or sorry, 30 or 35. I want to say it was called Super Mario 35. Because yeah, it wasn't 10 years ago. It was definitely 5 years ago. It just seems like it was like out like a lot sooner than that. But anyways, Mario 35, where you play against 35 different other Mario characters. What if they just re-released that game but do 40, like you're racing against 40 different people? And that game was kind of cool. I actually really enjoyed playing that. I'm having like these memories of that, and I like, it was one of those games that was on the Nintendo Switch Online that I was like, this game is awesome. Like, why are they getting rid of it on the Nintendo Switch Online? Like, that made no sense to me. But anyways, Nintendo makes weird decisions. But anyways, so I think that would be a little bit more realistic if we were to have you know, those like Switch 2 versions for that. So if they did do like a direct, or like they're trying to come up with something new for Mario, at least to hold us over, I think that's more realistic. But speaking of 40th anniversary, I know the 40th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda is coming up next year. I actually think that, unlike the Mario year, they are actually going to do a lot with Zelda for its 40th anniversary. I have this hunch that that is where we're going to get a lot of releases, because I feel like they showed Hyrule Warriors kind of early, in my opinion. I actually think that the reason why they showed Hyrule Warriors, and the reason why it's coming out in the winter, is because that's the start of the Zelda year, like the 40th anniversary. So if you think about it, I'm gonna get that midpoint. Ow. So if you think about it, like, why come out early 2026 on the 40th anniversary of Zelda? Because I feel like they're gonna release more, which would be super exciting. So think about this. We have, like, imagine if they do this. So Zelda comes out with the Hyrule Warriors, and then they announce some of the HD versions that we've been wanting. But they do like a 3D version of them. They're basically like, yeah, we're going to release all these 3D versions. We're going to do, you know, Majora's Mask. We're going to do Wind Waker, and we're doing Twilight Princess, right? Everybody's happy because that's exactly what everybody wanted, and that's basically to hold us over because, again, we got a new Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, and then we get the games that everybody has been wanting. But then on top of that, imagine now they release or they announce like a new game, and I really do think instead of it being a new game, announce Ocarina of Time like reimagined. So basically, it's Ocarina of Time, but kind of made in a more Zelda traditional, or not traditional, but like upgraded version of it. So while the main 3D Zelda team is working on their new game, have like another company kind of do like a reimagining of Ocarina of Time. I think that would be super cool. I don't know if that's going to happen. Again, they can do also other re-releases and stuff like that. Like they have the engine, obviously, because they did like Echoes of Wisdom and Link's Awakening. So they have that engine, so they could do the oracles. Nintendo could do the oracles. I don't know why you don't. So yeah, you could do that, and then it would be like a beautiful Zelda year, and then top it all off with, we're going to be releasing that movie, like hype it up, like at the end of that year, like, show a big trailer of the Zelda movie, and we're off to the races. Like, freaking cool. Anyways, so in other words, I don't think that there's going to be any more like big, Zelda announcements this year. I think we're going to basically stop at showing off Hyrule Warriors and stuff, because it's coming up early 2026. But this year, because I still want to focus a little bit more on this year, what other games are coming out other than like the games I've mentioned, like Dragon Drive and all the Switch 2 versions of games? I think the one game that was like shown really briefly obviously needs a bigger trailer, and it needs a bigger like talking point. It's weird to me though, because we already have a racing game in Mario Kart World. So it's weird to me that they're releasing yet another racing game for the Nintendo Switch 2, and I don't really see it selling as well because of that. But I also know it's made by, like, if you guys don't know, the Sakurai, the creator of Super Smash Brothers. And so I think that would be, a game that a lot of people want to play just because his name's on it. But it's a racing game. I don't know. I'm not like I'll get it. I'm not really as hyped for it because I'm not like a huge racing fan. Like I'll play it, but like it's not anything that like makes me go, oh my god, I want to buy, right? So I don't know. I feel I know it's coming out this year. I was thinking that this would be November for sure, like October, November, maybe even October, but they definitely need to start showing the game near the next direct. So if we do have one at the end of July or beginning of August, it would be an opportune time to like start showing it. Like it is time, right? As Mufasa says. Or wait, actually it was Rafiki that said that line, didn't he? I don't know. Quickly on like a random third party, I know Rare's been in the news lately, and I still would love to have some Rare games on there. Like, I would love if they had the Rare replay on there on the Nintendo Switch too. That's just a want that I want, because again, that's a game that I really wanted to have, but I don't have an Xbox, so obviously I didn't get that game. But I would love to have that on the Switch too. So if you're listening, Rare, that would be a cool port. Wink, wink. I would definitely buy. Wink, wink. Wink, wink means please and thank you. I know that there's also rumor that perhaps like the Sea of Thieves might be released on the Switch too, which would be kind of cool. It's not my game for sure, but like I could definitely see a lot of people getting some good play out of that. So again, Nintendo needs some third parties in there, but the one that I would really like to see is Resident Evil 4. So Resident Evil 4 had a kind of like a remaster. It was like a reimagining of the game, and it was great. It was I haven't played it personally, but like I watched some people play it online, and I'm like, this is like fantastic. So I would really love if Nintendo was able to make it happen, and like have Capcom make Resident Evil 4 for the Switch 2. I think that would be freaking awesome, and it could come out in October, like right where like Halloween's happening. I think that would be kind of cool. But yeah, anyways, I think we need more third party games like that, so I'm hoping. Speaking of like older games, now that I was talking about Capcom with that game, I know we just got the release of the, I keep on always forgetting what they call it, the GameCube. Is it Classic? Is that what they call it? Like it's the app that you can play certain games in. So they released the GameCube one. Obviously you can play Wind Waker, and you can play F-Zero. Super cool. But what like other games are going to come out for it? So for the GameCube specifically, I feel like the game that is going to make the biggest wave and the biggest impact is going to be Super Smash Bros. Melee, if they add online. I think they can do it. They've done, and look at, they're doing it with F-Zero, right? So can you imagine if they released Melee? Probably everybody's favorite. Like if you ever played Melee and you played all the other ones, yes, Ultimate is great because it has everything. It has everybody's here, you know, all the stages. Like it's a freaking amazing game. However, Melee is probably the most balanced, and I have yet to play a better Super Smash Bros. And I don't think I'm the only one that has that opinion. So if we had Super Mario, sorry, I was calling it Super Mario, Super Smash Bros. Melee, I think that game would be insane, and that would like move systems. So I know Nintendo may want to do it because that's definitely going to bring in money. The question is when. Do they do it this year? Maybe for like the holiday sales? Or do they wait until next year? I don't know. I hope that it's this year because I just want it. But do see a possibility that they could move it next year. They are selling their systems fine. Like, if you release something that is not going to move the sales because the sales are already at max anyways, might as well space things. It's a business 101, right? So I can see them pushing that if the Switch 2 volume doesn't slow down. Like, if they keep on releasing, systems, like I think they sold over 5 million, right? If they can get like 20 million released and people are still buying them and they're not slowing down with inventory, yeah, hold off on it until that demand starts going down a little bit. And then once the demand goes down, you release that game, and then surely enough, like, the demand goes back up, right? So I think they might be wanting to sit on that, but I do want to say it out loud because I do think that is the biggest possibility for a huge release for the GameCube portion. I also think there's games like, Super Mario Sunshine, which I know we technically had a release on the Switch on there, but again, it was limited. But we also have like games like now we got Pikmin already, so like Super Monkey Ball. What I personally want to play is Star Fox Dinosaur Planet. Is that what it's called? I think it was called Dinosaur Planet, but then they put Star Fox on it. Star Fox Adventures. That's what it was called, right? Star Fox Adventures. Now that I'm thinking about it, wasn't there a Star Fox Assault? Was that on the GameCube as well? Or was that on the Wii? I want to say it was for the GameCube. So there's also that one too. Maybe, possibly. That could have been for the Wii. I never got Assault, so obviously I don't know. Man, that's gonna like bother me now. I'll have to look it up. But anyways, so yeah, there's a couple things that they could do with the GameCube, but obviously it just depends on how they want to release everything. But I do think that they do need to show something. But also, there's other systems like the Nintendo 64 one that also have some games that have not been released. So in my opinion, I actually think, and I don't know why they haven't done it yet, but Donkey Kong 64, they have Donkey Kong Bonanza coming out. Why have we yet to get a Donkey Kong 64? Like it's not that like the game is bad. Like it wasn't like what we all wished for in Donkey Kong 64, but it wasn't a bad game. It was actually kind of fun. So like, I want to replay it. Like that game is like, I've only played it once through, so I do actually want to replay it. So I'm trying to hold off on playing it like on an emulator and all that stuff. Like I feel like that game would be coming out for this. So I'm like, let's do it then. Release it. But anyways, I feel like that game is needed in my opinion. I'm trying to think of like other 64 games. I don't know if you guys remember Glover. Glover is another game that I don't believe is released on the 64 yet. So yeah, I don't think so. I don't know why I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, did I miss that? I don't think Glover is part of it. Okay. But anyways, if Glover wasn't released, Glover's another one where I'm like, yes, it's not made by Nintendo, but for some reason it was such a like an iconic game. Kind of like how Turok was. Like Turok was like nobody's gonna say it was their favorite game, but it definitely brings nostalgia back. And so when they released Turok for it, it was like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like because it's nostalgic. It's super cool. So I don't know. I feel like Glover is another one. Of course, we have Conker's Bad Fur Day. That's never gonna be. It's never gonna be released. So, anyways, we have a whole bunch of games that like I think would be super cool for the 64 as well. So, and then also I don't think that they're gonna do it anytime soon, but I really do feel like they're going to release Nintendo DS classic lineup, which would be cool because I would definitely want to like replay Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. Maybe it'll happen for the 40th anniversary. We'll see. I don't know. But I feel like it's time. Like it's time to get the DS games on this lineup, and I think that would be kind of cool. So that's really like Nintendo wise. I'm just trying to think. I know we have like the games that they already announced. Like again, they have like the Splatoon, like upgrade the Switch updates and stuff like that. But I do think that they have a chance to do either like Mario Odyssey or Mario Wonder, even Mario Maker. But I would rather them wait to make Mario Maker 3. I don't. Yes, I can see them making a Switch 2 version, but then like doing a little bit of updates. But like, let's make a all new one and and make the game freaking fantastic. Like, Mario Maker 2 is like insanely good. If you guys haven't played it, like, it's just amazing. It's still the one game that I still watch people play on YouTube and stuff like that. But that game I don't think is coming out anytime soon. Not even next year. I would love it to happen, but yeah. Last thing I'm gonna say, and I already know I talked about Super Smash Bros., but Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I do think needs a Switch 2 version, and it's literally to like clean up the online, clean up the frame rate, all that stuff. Like, have it run smooth and have a freaking good online. On top of that, if you wanted to, you can do a some new additions to the characters. Like, basically, like, okay, if you get the Switch 2 version, it is everybody, including all the other releases like Banjo-Kazooie and all them, right? But have maybe like 5 more characters, and basically like hey, there's gonna be 5 more. There's 5 more levels. Maybe we'll do a single player, because everybody liked that from Brawl and everything. So like, bring that back, and then clean up the online and clean up all that stuff, and then it'll just be Ultimate on there. Because in my opinion, and I know people are gonna hate me for saying this, I don't think that there needs to be a new Super Smash Bros. For the Switch 2 console. Like, throughout the 8 years that this console runs, I really don't think it's needed right now, because I think Super Smash Bros. Is in need of a complete redesign. I think they did what they could do in this version of Super Smash Bros. So releasing a Switch 2 version so that they can continue that trend and having people play the game that they love, I think that's a good thing to do. But if they do want to make another Super Smash Bros., I think that they need to go back to the drawing board and kind of reimagine it. And still kind of play the same, obviously. Like you can't like lose the formula and stuff like that. But like, reimagine it, like come back with like new moves, with new ways of playing, like just a different gimmick altogether of just like how you play the game. And I think that would benefit Super Smash Bros. For like the new one. But do they do that on this system, or do they do it in the future system? To me, they don't need to do it on this system. So it's just my opinion. I know you guys can like yell at me and hate me for it, but like that's at least how I feel about it. So, but anyways, I'll go ahead and end right here. I know I've been talking for like a half an hour, I think. I'm just excited because, you know, we're in the thick of it. Like it's been like a month and a half like since the Switch 2's been released, and I'm just super excited to see where this system goes. And you know, like, I know that we're obviously gonna have some like sequels that happen from on the Switch and stuff like that. Like, I can't wait until they actually make another new Splatoon game and stuff like that. But like, those games are gonna be down the line. Right now, you know, games that are like in the near future and stuff like that, like, what can they do? I feel like Nintendo's in a good position, and obviously the system's selling really well. So like, I think it's going to be a good ride, expensive ride, but it's a good ride. I just died. I think that's telling me that I should stop. It's also telling me that like I'm trying to talk and I'm playing a game at the same time. It's kind of hard. I don't know why it just popped in my head. The GameCube again. I was like just thinking about the Star Fox Adventures again, and I just thought to myself, you know what game was really cool on the GameCube? Beautiful Joe. Does anybody remember that game? Shindigo, baby. That's a game that would be awesome to replay. I really hope that they re-release that for the GameCube. That would be cool. I really like, now that I say that out loud, I'm putting that into the world. I want to see Beautiful Joe. Losing my voice now. All right, I'll go ahead and end here. Thank you guys so much for watching another GameTout. This is the episodic, you know, series, show, whatever you want to call it, where I just come, you know, and talk about video game news. I like to, you know, I'm starting to branch off to this to make it like a little bit more podcast-ish. So hopefully you guys are liking the new style. I might bounce around back and forth depending on like if I just want to say news or something like that, but I do want to just talk and just you know, bounce what's like on my brain and stuff like that. So hopefully the topics that I come up with are interesting to you guys, and if you guys do want a particular topic, you guys can also, you know, leave a comment you know, below, and if it's something that it's like, oh yeah, that is actually pretty unique, let me go ahead and bring that up you know, for next week's topic or something like that. I'll go ahead and do that. So yeah, just let me know if you guys have any direction on what you guys want to hear. But if not, I'll continue just you know, just talking about like what's on my mind and what I think. But I do think that this topic is a good one because we're in the beginning stages of the Switch 2, and you know, like, there has to be another Direct coming soon. So like, so it's always fun to try to predict and stuff like that, because usually we're always way off. There's not going to be one game released on Zelda 40th anniversary at all. Not even Hyrule Warriors. Anyways, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, please like. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. It always helps out with all that stuff. But again, thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you guys next time for some more GameTout, brother. All right, later.